Comic Book Day observed, and welcome back all you four-color funny book aficionados. This is USComics Cast, your HQ for all things comic book connected. This time, we even remembered to turn on the volume. We are John and Charlie Rivera, the co-founders of USComics. Charlie, happy Comic Book Day.
Happy Comic Book Day observed to you and to everyone listening and watching today. As always, we are brought to you by Bad Mary Band and Sergeant Finesse Gaming. If you haven't done so already, please attack that comment section like you're facing an alien invader that can shapeshift willy-nilly and just escaped a psychopath named Ted while insisting on assaulting you with a blue horn.
Oh, Ted.
What a creep.
Oh, Ted, you creepy, creepy son of a gun. Yeah, Charlie, as you so brilliantly informed our good viewers.
He
and
writes
listeners.
that.
Oh, they know. Indeed, Secret Invasion, not Secret Wars,
So keep
as
calling
Charlie insists on calling it and just getting me all jammed up. Secret Invasion has dropped one episode deep over on Disney Plus. And Charlie, I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to drag it out.
Oh, shit.
I'm just going to come right out and say it. Welcome back, Marvel. Welcome back to adulthood. Because I feel like people can throw out every reason under the sun why the previous beginning of a phase and entire phase before that, they were just not, to put it gently, they were not super into it, right? Folks have been, I'm sure many of you feel the same way, just not into it. Certainly in my case, not really that into it. And probably the best example of that would be Miss Marvel. I take no issue with the story that's being told there. Ultimately, I felt like I went to the library and I'm kind of perusing the shelves, looking for some of my favorite content, and I said, "Ooh, I like these guys," and I accidentally picked up a fucking a young adult book, right? Like I'm just not at that point.
You weren't in the mood for Hunger Games.
I'm 1,000 years
read
old,
Hunger Games.
and I'm ready for some adult content. Charlie, my hot take: Secret Invasion. At least thus far, I don't want to be made to look like a fucking fool, but at least thus far, one episode in, this show is for adults.
Sure.
Adult.
Sure, I agree with that. In as much as, like, you know how sometimes... Remember when you were a kid?
Remember?
And Saturday morning cartoons are on, and you're fucking watching G.I. Joe beat the shit out of Cobra. You're watching Megatron and Optimus Prime and their never-ending war. Hell, John, the Thundercats may be getting feline AIDS before your very eyes.
I wouldn't mind watching some hot Chitara action.
And
bro.
then it switches to, like,
Smurfs?
Saturday morning news. No. It switches to some adult fare. Caddyshack 2 comes on. And you go, who the fuck wants this? That was my experience with Secret Invasion.
He almost did it. He
almost
almost did it
in real time.
Live.
John, who the fuck gives a shit about Maria Hill in the MCU? Other than the actor. Who gives a...
like, no. Spoiler alert, go watch it. No.
So I read this incredible analysis. It was very short, but it was the problems with Marvel and DC cinematically are the same that have existed in comic books forever. Marvel always has the same problem. DC always has the same problem. DC lets their creatives go buck. So the fucking connecting tissue is so loose and absurd. Sure. You got Superman in like 9 places at the same time. Fucking Batman has 40 books. Yeah. And Marvel is always so concerned about this fucking everything intertwining that nothing makes sense.
Well, the comics though, like you would that argument you would have to fold Wolverine into that.
Of course.
The Marvel comics would literally, unironically, have Wolverine in 4 places.
Canada, space, and fucking New York.
Unbelievable.
So my problem with Secret Wars, I think it's perfectly... Damn it. Secret Invasion.
To me, this should have been a drinking game on a very special 1 in the afternoon episode of USComics Cast.
So, my problem is, they're telling this story where Nick Fury has been so let down by the government, he at best was loosely connected. And maybe I forgot something. So I fully opened this up for like, Charlie, you fucking idiot. Didn't you see the Halloween special on Disney Plus? So much so that he is getting, is it Sword that's in space?
Sword is being created in effect.
So he's like, fuck.
In the wake of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Sure. Fuck Earth, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do this thing for S.H.I.E.L.D. And then Maria Hill is like, can't believe you fucking left me. But there's all these characters that are not particularly well-rounded. These are, I don't give a, I don't believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe anyone gives a fuck about someone who already we've kind of seen die once. Like Nick Fury got fucking vaped.
I was to say snapped. Right at the same time you said, what did you say? Snapped.
Snapped, yeah.
No, I was going to say snapped. You said vaped?
Vaped, yeah. So
my turn to snake. I'm a Snickers snake.
That's a joke. None of them know the stupid sneaky snake thing.
Oh, terrible. Welcome to Sneaky Snakedom.
So before I kick it back to you, I don't want to bogart this. My whole thing is like Secret Wars competently filmed. It's a fun fucking Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is
thank him for your later
minus the shitty opening credits with the fucking AI art.
We'll get to that.
What horse shit? But put that aside. Yeah. Well acted. Well designed, looks a little on the inexpensive side.
Yeah, but you know though, not to its detriment.
Correct.
Because what happened? Well, I'll point counterpoint.
And then my last thing is named after a thing they're clearly not making, which is Marvel tradition at this time.
Yeah.
Removing the heroes from a story that is beloved by some people, not by me, because who gives a fuck about Secret Invasion, but people love that story. Removing all the characters that are fun and colorful. While calling it Secret Invasion, but also being like, well, we're Marvel. We don't really... Yeah. We're just borrowing titles.
You didn't really... Do you believe that? Like, oh,
I watched that first episode the way I, like, watch some Shakespeare. I'm like, I respect this. I'm not at all excited.
He's so cute.
I'm not at all excited for episode 2. I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. Really? It's not bad. I know it's good. I don't care.
So here's my surprise in that diatribe.
I didn't watch the right show. I watched Secret Wars, the cartoon.
So you don't care, however, by Charlie law, you will have had to stack it against other Disney Plus entries. So where would you stack it along any of these past phase and a half shows, which, to my recollection, have been pretty duty-on worthy?
So I imagine Werewolf by Night is disqualified because that's a special.
Technically, it's special, but no, you can include it. I'm not strict.
I do not like this as much as Werewolf by Night. I don't like this as much as Moon Knight. This is Miss Marvel to me. It's for an audience I don't think I belong to.
No, you're definitely an old geezer, so you belong to this 100%. Now,
this was the C-SPAN of fucking Marvel television.
If I may, Charlie's like, ugh, adults, patooey. I'm a baby.
How come no one's wearing Converse with their super suit?
Why are there no cereal ads during this? Well, Disney Plus doesn't really have ads. Regardless. So,
Captain America's butt puffs.
I would argue that Marvel has done you dirty in terms of your expectation of shows, because you can have the most colorful, outrageous, loud, which I know you're a fan of.
What?
Piece of shit. And a lot of times recently, that's exactly what they've offered us, both on the small screen and on the large. Yeah. Again, this is something where, you know what? This is the first episode of what is, I assure you, going to be a very active series that I got probably bad news. You have to pay attention to. This is not going to be a show that is success. It's predicated on. Let me finish. That it's not predicated over some huge CGI fucking battle and blah blah blah. No, this is a show that's going to be a little bit more understated. If you're a fan of any of the like current crop of spy shows, secret agent shows. Now again,
it did feel like that Russian show to me. That's what it looked like to me on FX. We're a Russian family, but we're American. The Americans. I got there.
He's like, oh, there's this fucking show. It's about like a caveman family. They're like, you know, there's a bunch of like no technology shit. Like everybody got to do Flintstone stuff. The Flintstones. That's what it is. Yeah, we got it.
That's how I do it with like all my dates.
Charlie,
like,
this is an entry by Marvel that is something that we have not seen since the Iron Man days. And it's a little bit funny to say Iron Man because I'm gonna say nuanced.
You think?
I know it is a nuanced show. And here's the thing, like just to kind of like go backwards a little bit, point for point. Nick Fury, Maria Hill, to a significantly less degree, Talos. These are member characters, so they have been part of this Marvel overarching story that have been told. And like you said, Marvel Cinematics is really all about the interconnections of so many of these characters that when you either dredge up characters like this, or in the case of Mrs. Ted, take them off of the fucking the board, it's meaningful. And so much of the quote-unquote new Marvel, they've introduced a character, colorful, crazy powers. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and lump in a legacy Marvel character with them, and now it's kind of like fucking Mandalorian. It's not, because you know who nobody fucking cares about? Nobody cares about fucking America Chavez. Nobody cares about her, and should be fucking awesome. Certainly what they're doing over at Sony, they're like, fucking El Muerto is not gonna happen. Great! I didn't even remember that it was a fucking thing.
All you liked about it was like that soundtrack would have been banging.
It would have been banging, but
can
on
I
the same token, I gotta sue, and I'm not afraid to do it.
Here's my issue.
Yeah.
We didn't really watch it. I watched the first season and then it wasn't worth watching. But this is kind of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, this is... What do you mean it ain't?
I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because, number one, it's utilizing characters that some of us clearly... fucking heartless. Some of us care about.
I'm glad he lost an eye.
Nick Fury / fucking Shaft / every amazing character Quentin Tarantino has ever thought of. I would watch him do anything, including his laundry, because that motherfucker 100% rocks silk underwear.
I don't want to double back on myself.
Let me finish my point.
Yeah.
I care about these characters, so when certain things happen, when Khaleesi, the mother of dragons, gets involved, and you're like, oh shit, I'll put it this way. This show, unlike multiple prior entries recently, kept me engaged. Not only am I going to watch
the world's most
the
basic story?
Here's the thing, Charlie. There's something called character development.
The royal daughter. She's naughty, but maybe not that naughty. Maybe she won't be naughty. I bet she's naughty. She's definitely.
I hope she gets naughty.
I've seen how she gets down.
Ooh, if she gets naughty like Jennifer Lawrence in her newest entry, I'm going to watch this show on repeat. No, Charlie, maybe it is just a perspective type thing.
Also, I was in a terrible mood when I watched it. Maybe this is a Charlie issue.
Oh, no, here we go. So the way
I watched Shaft 2. Like, I didn't even watch the right shit. Charlie, why is this on Disney Plus?
Why do they have to... Why he got to shoot him in the face? Because fucking Travolta's driving. That don't make no sense. I don't care about your coffee. It's adult fare. Now, here's the thing.
I like adult fare.
I'm not that
I
adult.
love porn.
Not triple X adult. So what was my point?
I watched This Ain't Secret Wars. The problem.
I'm sure it's pretty good. The acting and the CGI were really, really better than expected. So I think that what Marvel has to do, and funny enough, it comes back to a thought that you first installed in me. When you all of a sudden now it's good. Charlie's like,
it's a great show. Dynamite. It's a great show. Good idea.
So if you looked at the legitimate American Revolution, right? And you know, okay, here is from A to Z the story. And you have something like The Patriot with Mel Gibson. Mm-hmm. You're like, that's clearly overblown some version of, hey, Joker in the hizzy. Joker never apologized to us because it
is Sunday, Joker stream.
Joker's been traveling either way too much or partying so hard that he's like, yo, in Joker Town, today is still Saturday, but we're here, glad you're here regardless. So yeah, my point was, if you have the American history that you know,
You know what's fucked up? I just had to check the date. I'm like, is it Saturday?
the most Jokerish shit that can ever be said is to make you yourself question, like, yo, what day of the week is it right now? I love it. I love it. Joker doing Joker shit on a Sunday. Yes, Sunday it is. But what we're saying, so when you have those circumstances, we're like, yo, I know the story.
Yeah.
Right? So then if you get a Mel Gibson, The Patriot, and then you get a fucking HBO's John Adams, you're like, oh, okay, here's another flavor of that same history. Granted, in this case, a little bit more accurate. But then on the same token, if somebody comes out, because The Patriot is like 300 in American history. I credit that to a fucking Adult Swim, what you call Robot Chicken. But then you know what? In elementary school, you get like a little easy first time readers book. And it's the story of George Washington. Like, he chopped down the cherry tree and he never told a lie. He got wood teeth and he'll fuck you up. He's a great general. So those are two different variations of storytelling that do work together. So I have no problem saying, look, Marvel, make your tween fair, but give us adult fare also. This is
you and I 100% agree with that.
And you know, whether it's because of the miles per hour of it, whether it's because of the tone of it, or the fact that you have to look, these are details that will matter to their larger phase coming up. So I think it's well worth it just for the sake of like, look, I had to sit through fucking Miss Marvel. I had to sit through this gray-faced monster. Had to sit through Miss Marvel, which is undoubtedly a young teen show because it counted towards the overall narrative. Guys, this one is damn straight. Damn straight, it's a superhero show with no superheroes, or maybe even more to the point, a show in a world where superheroes exist.
But okay.
But these are the boots on the ground.
Let me just ask you this then.
Yeah.
Because I don't disagree with what you're saying, and let me also be clear. I'm rooting for the next 5 episodes to be hot fire. I'm hoping this is the thing that
Thing is not going to be it.
Damn it.
Sorry, Cousin Paul.
My fundamental problem thus far is I actually do not think the story is that complex. I think we've seen it obviously, and that's all stories you can kind of boil down, right? With that being said, there needs to be something truly lasting on the other side of this, beyond like the president's a Skrull. Like, if the payoff is that basic, and if they try to play it like I haven't had fucking a decade worth of Marvel blowing my socks off at times, because it has at times been fucking this magic thing from so much is because of what the Marvel Cinematic Universe has done. Let's not bullshit. If this ends with like, fucking, is Nick Fury a Skrull or not? Tune in to the next movie to find out. Go fuck yourself. Because I don't think this was set up particularly well by the larger universe. Marvel's superpower is supposed to be that they have a plan. That's the bullshit they keep telling us.
Right.
Now, we know, and we've discussed on the show at nausea at this point. Nauseum? I don't know the expression.
Nauseum.
We've discussed this so many fucking times that they're George Lucas level bullshitters because they pretend like they have this big. If you knew Secret Invasion was coming, man, you should have in the background of a movie. Oh, this is all I'm asking for. The background of a movie, someone gets fucking capped, they turn into a Skrull. Don't even linger on it. Maybe the camera knows. Considering that Marvel fucking has this rule book where like everyone is actually wearing a vest, this way they can move their arms, and like we're supposed to pretend we don't see it now. The moment it was pointed out, it ruins it. I'm like, no one wears a jacket. Everyone wears sleeve t-shirt with vest. Fucking assholes.
Yeah, dude, they're not gonna eat a carb for 3 months before filming. They're gonna wear a vest.
Touche.
They insist.
Touche. I wish this was set up better. I wish there was little things we were able to see in other series.
It's fair.
I wish they had little.
That's fair.
And again, this is judgy as fuck.
It is, but that's your job. I will
I'm
say
the
this.
judgy as fuck one? Shit.
Yeah. You're just missing a little fucking zip up and blah blah. To be fair, some events were in their control, but many of them weren't. The Marvel schedule has been shifted and adjusted so many times that very well there may have been certain circumstances. Like, for example, I'm going to go out and put out a damn, Joker's right. Joker's, I don't know if you want to put that up, because Joker, you're responsible for this spoiler, but I'm 100% with you. Absolutely. Kobe Smulders was an integral part of the Marvel world.
Bullshit. Bullshit. You're out of your mind.
The second, did you ever not recognize her as Shield?
That's a good point.
If she shows up on the,
I'll take my point.
I will take the win.
But Shield's the more. I don't even know. Is she a member of
But Charlie, have you ever watched Behind the Music? Where are they now? Like, yeah, I want to know where that tall drink of water is all the time.
Let me say this.
On a Sunday at about 1:21, somebody check on me. Where is Kobe? Because I got nothing to do the rest of the day. Let me finish this thought. So, considering that, again, we got a lot of more for you. A lot of more.
It's saber, by the way, not sword.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joker.
Well done, Joker, doing some good
Why
in the
did
world.
I shorten Joker Stream, which isn't his real fucking name, to joke?
Yeah,
I stink. You know what? You're right. The show's great.
Joker Stream should be offended that was his abbreviation, and I'll just be offended that you felt the need to do so.
You guys don't get me. Bats gets me.
So, because you and Bats are like right here on that same level.
We're both kind of figments of imagination.
Charlie is also just a boop. It's a button push away.
If you guys don't know who Bats is,
you don't want to know where the button is.
You gotta check out Joker Stream.
Let me
the
go ahead and
mascot
show you
in the business.
Not since fucking Ed McMahon has there been a better, and Charlie's slightly behind that.
Yeah, a little bit.
A better sideman. Let me show you Charlie's. Boop.
I hate
He's got nothing. He's got no pre-loaded content. In any case, so I think that I contrarily believe the remaining episodes of Secret Invasion will be mandatory viewing for the stuff that comes next. I don't know if it's going to reference Fantastic Four. I don't know if it's going to reference, like, maybe you are like a seer. Like, you're one of the hot broads in the very beginning of 300. And you're just, like, dancing around, titties out, slow motion in 300. And it is leading directly to Secret Wars. Like, Charlie just cannot stop saying. But it 100% will matter. I do love, though, taking your foot off the gas for a minute. Also for the fact that, look, when Nick Fury, it was like a space station. He wasn't the other end of the galaxy. He's not with Carol Danvers or anything like that. I find those characters to be very interesting. But on the same token, the idea of a human, this is probably why Batman is as popular as he is, because he's a human operating in a world of superhumans. That's what this show is. This show is Jack Ryan, except they're superheroes. And I fucking love it. It is, for lack of a better term, a procedural within the Marvel Universe. I'm for it, man. So again, short summation. I loved it. Charlie.
Indifferent. I don't give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck.
Charlie is
I think it's well shot, well acted, well assembled. The intro is dog shit because fuck AI. You can click it. I think, but ultimately, as of right now, one episode in, I don't really like television this way. Okay. I know I'm bipolar on this.
So let me ask you a question. Were it not for the show, or your continued interest in the Marvel world, across the board, you wouldn't watch episode 2?
I mean, again, it's unfucking fair because it's this service that we have access to. Right. I wouldn't have watched Ms. Marvel either, and I don't dislike Ms. Marvel. I don't, and again, I think that's been blown out of proportion too. I don't like it, but I don't. The problem is I like everything. That's the real truth. Is like the truth is I kind of like everything because it takes a fucking sea of talent to produce a piece of dog shit. Yeah, Ant-Man was bad. I liked it.
Not Michael Jackson bad.
Michael Jackson was the type of bad I don't like, because, like, potential monster. But, like, fucking Beat It is such a good song.
We don't know that for a fact.
That's true. My whole thing is, would I watch it? Of course I would, but I would watch season 2 of Ms. Marvel, and I am, like, the ultimate, like, we don't have another story to tell.
If the MCU has any any respect for the written word, there won't be a season 2 because they killed her so bad in the comics. Oh my god. But in any case, alright, so Charlie's in different.
What the fuck? That was awesome!
You watch the replay, you'll get there. So Charlie's in different. John is all for it. I think you guys know who to listen to if you have to choose between one or two.
The guy who won't look down the barrel of the gun, but instead looked, you came complete eye contact with your favorite person. You're so in love with
the eyebrows, bro.
It is, John, I have never seen someone's eyes move from camera to self. You knew where the camera was. This Sunday brunch edition of fucking USComics Cast Live is off the fucking rails already.
You're talking to me? I'm sorry, I was looking at my reflection. Oh, yeah. But the truth of the matter is that the choice is up to you now before a Skrull replacement comes down to Earth, shoves you in the fucking pod, and takes over your life. And the worst case scenario, if a Skrull shows up and takes over my life and does better than me, oh, man, it's me versus Skrulls forever. But if anybody tells you that this show is not worth watching, even if it's only so you can be a monster like Charlie and say all the things I didn't like about it, they are one thing and one thing only, and that is the same shit as George Toy Boy Lucas. Why, Charlie? Why?
Answer simple, bro. Han shot Foist. You took like off camera perfectly timed that. And then, like, audibly, it was like, having a chaser! What a weird decision you made! You stealthy
It's
cunt!
all about the arts. I'll salute. Cheers, motherfuckers.
Han shot first, you
Han shot
degens.
first. Slide into the DMs if you want your own shooter. Yo.
Oh, it burns! Ah!
Granted, it's a PM shot, but my body was not. I just finished some eggs. And my body's like, what are you doing, you monsters?
Woo! I would love this, actually. Joker Stream, whenever you guys get to this, guess who the Skrulls are. How about this?
That could be a new drinking game to go along with Charlie's calling it Secret Wars.
The first person to either DM us, comment under one of our posts, guessing the first Skrull reveal for episode 2, I will send a prize to.
I love
It'll probably be Ghostbuster themed because I have more Ghostbuster giveaways
Sure.
Actually, that's not true. It'll be a Ghostbuster thing, and I have an extra pin of us. You can
Beautiful.
wear.
Oh.
Look at these,
Look at this.
but like cartoony and cute. Yours is kind of always
cute?
cute. Mine looks like
Take that.
John.
Where?
You just struck me, and I will fucking bring violence, even if I have to fucking undead myself, you piece of shit, because I will fucking extract from your fucking soul my revenge, you piece of shit. Chris Hemsworth is back. In the sloppiest transition I've ever made, but I'm somehow day drunk.
I've seen you sloppy, but this was right in the middle.
Extraction 2 hit Netflix, and I had no fucking clue until my brother went, Extraction 2 is watchable. In fact...
If you're gonna quote me, motherfucker, quote me right.
It was? Go ahead.
Watch this shit! Watch it!
And I did, literally deep into the third act. I just sat down. I was like, I'll watch the ending first. It's a fucking action movie.
Yeah, what the
I find it funny when people are like, fuck Netflix! And then it, like, nothing changes. Like, if anything, their subscriptions go up. They were like, you better not share. And everyone was like, oh, fuck you. You told us we could share. I'm going to buy my own, though, because fuck you. Why? I thought you hate... And this answers the question. We just talked about FUBAR a couple weeks ago. Arnold Schwarzenegger. One thing we haven't mentioned yet was there's a Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary on Netflix that is fucking incredible. Before we dive into Extraction, did you fucking know Arnold Schwarzenegger had a brother?
Yeah.
Was it before I told you?
No.
You son of a bitch. You son... Wait, let's do it. You son of a bitch. No, you fucking... Why are we both in the same fucking room?
Charlie feeds me drinks. It's not even... The sun has barely decided to come up.
You know
and
what?
then he's like, oh, you didn't do this choreographed dance that I wanted us to do.
You looked at me like you were fucking synced to my brain.
That's acting. God damn it.
Can I see it again? Oh, now look at yourself. Look down the barrel there. He has an amazing documentary. I highly recommend it. But Extraction 2, there was this great promo where Chris Hemsworth like goes into an elevator and Arnold's there, and it's like this awkward action.
An elevator?
Oh, up
Just
next.
Curious, just curious.
I did that on purpose.
Teaser.
I swear. this great interaction, and it felt very much like when Rock was first taking off. I think in not Rundown.
The Rundown.
Was it the Rundown? He passes Arnold, and Arnold gives him like a "Yeah, it's your turn now." I
think he says "You're up."
Some shit like that.
Yeah.
This was a fun commercial version of that, where it's like Hemsworth was trying out like one-liners, and Arnold was basically being the best version of Arnold, which is like, "Yeah, that's great, it's wonderful."
You know what's so funny about that specific promo shot? Arnold looks tiny.
He's like a
compare. Like I remember
they make him big in
watching.
I almost said Austria, but I meant Australia.
Watching Conan as a kid, I'm like, this fucking guy is humongous. And then maybe a few years ago, I saw
he fought Kareem, and you were like, "Oh, he ain't shit."
He was standing next to
Shaq.
No, who was he standing next to? He was standing next to Andre the Giant, and I want to say maybe Ed Too Tall Jones.
Oh shit.
Whoever was also in Conan 2 Electric Boogaloo, which stinks on ice, if I'm being totally honest, where Conan the Barbarian is a masterpiece, Conan the Destroyer stinks. But that being said, Arnold Schwarzenegger was always huge, was larger than life. And I realized after I saw that production picture, that's going to be Chris Hemsworth for an entire mediocre generation of fucking fans out there. Like, oh, he's 9 feet tall, right? And he ain't. He ain't.
I always wonder.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't realize like steroids made you. I'm not. He might be kidding. He
Allegedly.
Is the Joker.
What? Keep on falling for it. Why do I keep on letting him out of Arkham? I don't know.
See, what's fucked up is now no matter what he says, I'm not going to trust it. He's like, no, I wrote a book. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
He's like, hey, great show, guys. Joker, you son of a bitch.
But to get back to the point, I don't like Liam. I don't like any Hemsworth. Chris and Liam can both eat a dick. With that being said, go fuck yourself, Thor.
What are you, fucking Miley Cyrus
over here? Now, Miley Cyrus I like with that robot voice. Ooh, so hot.
Oh, God.
I like things that a lot.
Thanks for taking Team Miley.
I would hand her a cigar while rubbing my nips.
When she pees on your carpet, you're like, real cool. I chose poorly.
Who was the crazy bitch that dated the pirate? They were married. She shit in his bed.
Oh, God.
I'd still buy her dinner.
Mira.
I would still buy
she's
Lady Aquaman dinner.
She is tainted goods, sir.
Extraction 2, they unkilled Chris Hemsworth. And honestly, they did it with probably the most tact that movie had. Which, they really sold me on,
the slowest part of the movie.
He was nearly dead.
They were like, What he said was mostly dead, which means he was partially alive. He probably owed you some money or something.
I loved
to blame.
I loved the Rocky 5 of it all.
Heard. Thanks, Oli.
I loved the Rocky 5 of it all, where it was like, no, even before the montage,
Charlie,
they set it up, and he's like,
you want to win Charlie over?
Oh my God!
Give him a Ninja Turtle in there. Throw in a little fucking montage action.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So literally, the movie is paced wonderfully. Because they're like, he was fucked up. And they do take their time to the point where I remember 5 minutes in, I was like, my fucking God, is this movie going to be all set up and then like, one...
anytime that...
Yeah, literally,
and
it's
then
like...
you are there until the credits roll.
It was a roller coaster. It was like 2.5 minutes of like...
It really was.
And then once
I see where we're parked. Oh no!
It was Expendables level as a compliment. Yeah. It was Expendables level of impatient, because once the movie starts, it's like, you're retired, you're gonna be kind of bored, you have a shoebox, you ain't got no love in your life, bro. I miss my kid vaguely. This is 3 minutes. Right. And then it literally is like, in fucking 5 weeks you gotta save your ex's sister who has the worst teeth I've ever seen in a film. And then the fucking movie hops into a fucking
hyper fucking space.
They hop into fucking Tom Cruise's jet from both Top Guns and take the fuck off, because it literally, and it's wonderful. My favorite part of it is the montage, because it is so.
This is a half butt naked.
Dude, it is 1980. It is 1983. His legs are all fucked up. He's lifting a tree. The movie very sincerely, he's like, I can't move with this knee brace. Let me just take it off, and that's better. Range of motion. He willed.
Charlie, it was like if fucking AEW made a fucking movie. Like Chris Hemsworth was just on the roster, throwing bodies and dropping elbows. And like, go make a flick.
Fucking awesome. And I remembered nothing about Extraction 1. I did not bother rewatching Extraction 1.
I'll put it this way. There was an Extraction. There was a child involved.
All I know is there's like a line where like the siblings that he works with, he's like, we got a job. And she's like, bitch, I'm in charge. He's like, sequel, click. Like, the amount of...
That was the actual pitch?
The amount of
go make it, I guess.
Fucks given in the best way. This is one of those flicks, like Expendables, specifically Expendables like 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't remember. There's one Expendables that I'm like, okay, try harder.
I can barely differentiate.
It's hard to. There is something so fun about a movie that's so confident and like we have planned out these amazing action beats. It felt like, and I mean this with love, it felt like very dumb, and we're not gonna try to not be dumb John Wick.
Right.
Like, because John Wick built out...
Kind of redundant, dumb John Wick.
Well, but John Wick did this weird thing, and that's what I love about them. Yeah. They started with a very simple like premise, and then because of how silly...
Reeves can't die. All right, guys, go start filming.
But also, I feel like the team behind John Wick watched the movie back, and they were like, New York doesn't give a fuck about this violence.
Yeah, no.
So there, you know what?
Have you ever tried to catch the 6 p.m. Ronkonkoma?
See,
I have personally killed multiple people getting to that train.
See, to me, it felt like an answer to it was in John Wick 2. They were like, okay, New York City is all assassins.
Yeah, we're just gonna destroy everything, and everyone's on the clock.
But then they fucked up because he goes to another place. They're like, fuck! And Chicago, and France. Extraction...
The Chicago part is actually a little true.
Extraction adds back a bunch of occasional people who are normal people, but everyone else is the most cardboard cutout hero or villain. The fucking
You're
kid...
either a hero or a target.
For me...
How do you think we handle these expensive transitions here?
For me, the best part about Extraction was that I'm like, I will take one Extraction every 2 years, please. Like, you can ride this. If anything, keep making them shorter. I want Extraction 9 to be 22 minutes.
That vaguely European henchmen are to naked in the woods fornicators, as Jason Voorhees is to the lead character from Extraction, who frankly I don't even fucking remember his name. I don't think it matters ultimately. What a fun fucking movie, bro. A fun, action-packed, shoot 'em up.
It was Commando. It was like it didn't try to be more.
Except in the fact that it wasn't trying to out Commando something, Commando...
They weren't trying to like win the death toll.
Commando was trying to out Rambo.
Yeah.
Whereas Extraction was like, hey, remember this type of a flick? Here you go. Didn't require any homework. Didn't require Googling anything. You're like, okay, shoot the fuck out of everything and let's see who wins out. It was almost an on the ground Bullet Train.
Yeah.
I liked Bullet Train for exactly the same reason.
I feel like Bullet Train's smarter though.
It had only in that like, okay, that was a joke. Let me dissect that a little bit.
Do you think that's just because the quality of other actors was higher? Bullet Train doesn't have one Chris Hemsworth. It has a Chris Hemsworth and then like a bunch of Liam Hemsworths.
It doesn't have any Chris Hemsworths. It has...
It's just all Liam?
It has multiple mini Hemsworth. Again, only in this particular aspect because I do enjoy all of those performers, especially some Zazie Beetz. Ooh.
I love Zazie Beetz.
I will listen to that shit. So, it's a little side note on Johntown.
So John's wanking off the other day.
So I just recently did a rewatch.
Dude, the 1 o'clock Sunday show might be a bad idea.
Well, it's because like 1 o'clock, one shot, you're like, nah, I'm day drunk. That's cool. Usually this is like a $20 to $25 proposition on the end of a Friday type thing, but afternoon you're like, I just woke up. I'm drunk now. I had drunk for breakfast.
Oh, we should do another Sunday show and have mimosas.
So in any case...
I'm so proud of myself as the
I know. And the worst part is you, 100% you're like, mimosa. Yeah, I got that fucking that wrestling champagne. We can use the rest of.
A little bit of the bubbly.
And it'll help me rinse down all these pickles that I've been forced to buy. So in any case,
That sounds so dirty.
look, we need
MJ
all the
pickles
target
are a real
audiences. I don't care.
Is it because it's warm in the office?
I don't care how we get over as long as we get over. But in any case, I did a recent rewatch of Deadpool and Deadpool 2.
So good.
And they are... I liked them the first time around, but I loved them the second time around. And I think it's because we have had so many relatively mediocre kind of like genre installments recently. But I do honestly believe that if you go back now and you did a mini binge of Extraction 1 and 2, your estimation will even go higher because what they were able to achieve in a field where other people have tried to achieve it. And you know what? I'm going to give full credit to John Wick because while John Wick is already getting its own spin-off and they were like, he is so complete, spoiler, he is so completely 100% dead. Even the dog is like, I'm moving on with my life. They're like, I don't know, there's a lot of money though, maybe 5. And then they'll have that same conversation for 10 and 15.
Do you remember?
Basically, he's Fast and the Furious all by himself.
Do you remember that amazing scene? And I think the last Mission Impossible that had the Henry Cavill in it. Remember when he like gets up in the big bathroom fight and he like fucking pops his shoulders in place and everyone like came, like guys, women, directors, producers,
Charlie's.
I feel like Keanu Reeves gets that call and like Keanu. 30 million, another John Wick, and I feel like he just makes sure his shoulder still works.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's like, whoa. Like,
he holds up the suit jacket, he's like, I don't know, man, I don't know. I'm getting too old for this.
I would love if John Wick hits like a Baker's dozen. Like, John Wick 10, he's like, just transition it into, oh God.
So John Wick 72, John Wick is finally like, look, guys, I've naturally outlived several dogs at this point, and you make fucking the original Fast and the Furious is called
The Fast and the Point Break.
Point Break. So now we're like the Point Break edition of fucking John Wick, and he's now the old surly cop,
which is what I wanted.
And he just handed over to a young buck.
I stand by the fact you should do fucking Point Break 2. Point Break 2, and then you can even make it Point Break 2, and you just cast, he's like fucking old and not fun anymore.
Can it be starring The Rock and Jason Momoa and really piss off fucking Vin Diesel?
Yeah. Now, yes.
You heard it here first, folks. That is a yes.
So Extraction 2, part of the reason that I feel like this conversation's gone this way, not much to talk about. There's an extraction, comedy ensues, everyone does their job. You know what I really...
The first 5 seconds of your explanation, you told the entire plot.
Yeah, touche. What I really appreciate is everyone came to that movie and they like did their job.
Yeah, for sure.
It felt like one of those flicks where no one was trying to pull a Vin Diesel and be like, well, what about me? Not the main girl, not the brother, not the kids, not the wife.
1,000 of the people that were shot.
Every single person came and said, what's my goal? What are we trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
Liam Hemsworth's the badass. And even the one thing I have to take away from this film, it did feel
Don't
like...
go to prison in Europe.
It felt like Hemsworth wanted more lines. And famously, original First Blood with Stallone, a big thing that happened with First Blood was the original edit sucked dick. Like, Stallone tried to buy it to never release it. And what they did is they went through with a machete, and what they specifically took out was like, we got too much John Rambo jibber-jabbering. So they made him this creature almost.
They made him Jason Voorhees.
And what I thought the only time Extraction 2 left a weird taste in my mouth. Not a bad taste, but the times where they were like, he's like the new Arnold. Like, you're not. You're not. Australian accents are sexy. We all know it. They're not funny. They're not like odd even.
You know why they're not funny?
Because he has a couple lines where he's like, hang around. I'm like, fuck you, you handsome jack piece of shit. Fuck you, hang around.
Australian accents are either sexy or like untenable is because there's nothing funny that actually happens in Australia. Australia as a country was designed to murder you.
Yeah.
There are more animals, creepy crawlies, fucking multi-legged and or no-legged things in Australia that will murder you than a fucking silverware drawer, like and an angry X. It is just the murder capital of the universe.
With that said, to my knowledge, you're currently a single guy.
What's it to you, bro?
If you had to go through the murder hornets, the spiders, the jacked kangaroos to get to Barbie. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. They make them so delicious in Australia that everyone is like, I'm gonna move to Australia. Yes, everything's designed to kill you, but come on.
Charlie, the Margot Robbie mold that they craft women out of in Australia is only what it is because of the fucking maze of murder that you need to
all the uggos die?
Oh my god.
I would never make it to the factory.
Oh. Oof, my goof.
I just imagine right now there's like 15 more Hemsworth coming off the production line.
And all the
30
dudes
more Robbies
are built like fucking Hemsworth because they have to fight off every murderous
Here's my theory.
thing trying to kill you.
Here's my theory,
as you
though.
get to Margot.
It's why Australian ladies would love me. They get 6-packs all the time. They want a keg. They want something different to show up.
I need something to cling to in the night.
What did you do is you take them out of Australia to somewhere cold, and they're fucking freezing.
Oh, and their tolerance to temperature is like trash.
Yeah, Extraction 2, genuinely what I needed. Another tough week, having something that dumb to put on, and then I saw like the trailer for Expendables 4.
Yeah.
I need... This summer has been one of the best movie summers ever.
Yeah.
And unironically...
Only getting best next weekend.
Transformers and Fast 10 were both, like, not good films. Wonderful additions to the lineup. Right? Where Flash failed me, because it kind of was this nothing sandwich.
Yeah. There's a solid Batman member berry, though.
And honestly, like we
that member berry was so juicy.
It was ripe.
And Diesel, you ate it like a fucking apple. Like,
and also, like, also, anytime... Do it. Anytime you can introduce to the world, like, a new super hot model who, like, wants to be an actor, yes, please. And I know you're not as big of a fan of Supergirl as I am. But I heard a rumor that the new segment might feature her in the coming weeks. But John...
New segment? What is that?
Oh, the people like, go check out Extraction 2. Let us know what you think. We're big fans of sometimes being able to turn off your brain. And I think Extraction 2 is a perfect example of it. I think it was more, to put my final thought on it, I think it was slightly more subtle than an Expendables. Slightly dumber than a John Wick, and a wonderful cream to that cookie. Because the truth is, I like all of my nonsense on you sugar-free son of a bitch. I think even silly action, even fun action is really what I want to call it. Over the top action, I think lives best on a spectrum, like everything else. Where sometimes I do want to pretend I'm an intellectual, you're popping John Wick. Sure. Sometimes I do not even want a thought to pop into my fucking head, you're popping Expendables. Somewhere in the middle properly lies Expendables 2. And the world is better for having movies like this. Yeah. With that being said, I desperately hope that this helps convince a studio Expendabellas, because the thing I'm desperate to see now, dumb fucking action movie, silly, over the top, crazy, but broads. Like, I love women pro wrestling because it's like, it's pro wrestling, but like better because beautiful, talented women are involved. I want beautiful, talented women with like bazookas and shit. Sure. Like, let's go,
Charlie,
let's go, Buck.
We don't. It's 2023. You don't call them bazookas anymore. They're breasts.
Sorry. I will also delete cans. But John, what's important? Just like Netflix is making all the money right now, it's very important that we make a couple shekels to keep the show free. We are a totally free show. Week in and week out, we live off of two things: these wonderful sponsors and your support. Share episode art. Hit like. Thing I learned on Instagram, if you hit share, you don't actually have to share it. It still counts towards the algorithm, and it helps push us forward. We normally have a very clear schedule, but my brother here is busy being a quasi-celebrity. But the best way to kind of know when we're going to hop on live, follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook Live. We are live. We do love interacting with you. We've made some great friends. With no further ado, now I'm going to fucking shell my wares. Because unlike other pods who sell for some random bullshit brand that's willing to throw a couple ducks, no, we have morals and integrity. Because today we're once again brought to you by one of our absolute favorite bands who are back from Japan, Bad Mary. You heard them during the intro. You're going to hear them again at the end of the show. If you're wondering where else you can find their act, you can follow them over at Bad Mary Band across all social media platforms. You can support them over on patreon.com/Bad Mary. You can stay up to date at badmary.com for merch and upcoming performances. But my favorite part, John, their entire discography is available across all music streaming services.
Damn straight, but that does beg the question, where we dropping? That's right, it is with Sergeant Finesse. Find him currently gaming, still as a Facebook partner. Literally, we're in the final days as he moves lock, stock, and barrel over to kick.com. Multiple streams every day, outstanding video game content, supporter games, co-streams, giveaways, contests. Don't be a sucker. Check him out today when the Sarge is on deck. You salute. We're also going to, of course, throw to the loony one himself, Jokers _stream _ over on both Twitch as well as kick.com.
My God, you see his Kick fucking audience just
like
growing?
already over 100 followers. My man just hits the ground running. I give all due respect to Bats. I think Bats does a lot of the heavy lifting. No offense.
That's always how sidekicks do it. Much like
you
me.
are not kidding. Yeah, I mean, absolutely great streamers. So good for filling up a bullshit day when you need it filled up. But
that sounds sexy as fuck.
Yeah, well, look, whatever it takes.
John, I also wanted to shout out one of the web's absolute best, or the web's absolute best Batman the Animated Series based podcast there ever was. And that's Batman-tasticast, starring the awesomely talented and knowledgeable super friends and fans of the show, Jordan Hugh and Mike Staub. Do yourself a favor and check them out everywhere podcasts are available. That's Batman-tasticast.
Damn straight. I heard a rumor that self-same Mike Staub is also the guy from Bad Mary. Is that true?
I believe so.
Wow.
As a Bad Mary superfan, I can confirm.
That's true. It's very true. But, Charlie, I have good news to report.
I like good news.
And we do indeed hear the voices of our fans / friends that tolerate the bullshit that we do and say, hey, you know what, that was okay, but you know what? You know we better. You know we better. Ain't that better? And they said, hey, you know what, we really enjoy, and don't quote me on this quote, but we really enjoy when you guys throw in your 2 cents. It's one thing to say, I like this. I didn't like that. So they want to know, well, you know what, though? Shut the fuck up and tell us what would you do? And granted, we were a little bit inspired by the same prior mentioned Jordan Hugh and Mike Style, but we'll keep that between you and me and the apple tree. Charlie, do me a favor and go ahead and let's run down the hall and get to the elevator, please.
Fancy executive here. They don't see the bottom. I wanted a big fat knot.
There we go. Finally. Oh, look at that outfit. Even kind of somewhat. Yeah, let's go ahead and tuck you in right there. Yes, the executive of Charlie Studios. I caught him in the elevator, and look, Charlie, Mr. Charlie. I'm all of a sudden I sound like the maid from Family Guy. In any case, Charlie, Mr. Charlie.
Executive elevators down.
I know your time is precious, but as the elevator is going to the top floor, which I have no business being on,
I don't know why.
I have an idea for your empty slate in the new summer schedule.
I do have an empty slate.
I think that this would be absolutely fantastic for Charlie Studios. If I may pitch you John's take on the new installment of RoboCop.
John, pitch me.
All right. Here we are. First, mostly, I want everyone under the sun to absolutely forget that the RoboCop remake even exists. I think we all can admit and acknowledge now it was hot trash.
They tried.
And there's only one place for hot trash, and that is the
cold garbage?
The cold garbage storage, indeed, where they tried to send...
You better, Graham, a goddamn executive.
You know what, you're right, and you're very handsome. Like I was saying, all right, so here we go. We're going to forget that the remake ever happened, a la Conan, God willing. And we are going to give the good people a legacy RoboCop sequel.
So you're throwing out 2 and 3?
No, we're gonna leave them alone. We're gonna throw away
just the reboot.
the stealth armor RoboCop reboot. That's now.
But we're keeping the Japanese cyborgs.
So in any case, what we're gonna go ahead and do? Nobody asked you to fucking chime in. So here we are. All right. So we're going to bring back the inimitable Peter Weller as RoboCop. Thank you for the soundtrack. Perfect. Keep it coming. All right. Now, RoboCop, as we know him, he has been effectively retired. So he gets to quit not once but twice. I don't know if that means he got 2 pensions from Detroit Police Department, but we'll leave that for the end credits for the after scene. So Peter Weller has RoboCop Murphy, as you know him if you're nasty. He has been retired and put on ice by the good folks at OCP. Now the reason why they're able to do that and maintain some semblance of peace on the streets of Detroit, Michigan, is because they realized their mistake. Right? They wanted to build on the success, the initial success of the RoboCop program, and say, you know what, we can do even better. And they effectively gave us fucking refrigerators with guns and an attitude. And they realized, you know what, it is, and this is going to speak to the current fear of AI, the current fear of fucking personal
I like
devices. Topical and timely, if you will. So they say, okay, we are going to lean into this cyborg program. Local, because I'm really tired of giving away fucking jobs overseas. We're going to keep it all American. So, in effect, when you join the Detroit Police Department, you can choose to or not choose to. It's like being an organ donor. You can say, hey, if I die in the fucking line of duty, I give you full authority. Bring me back as a cyborg. I'm happy to continue to protect and serve my people. And that's exactly what they do. Now, granted, OCP has become very selective over the type of individuals that they decide to bring back.
So getting less crooked cops, or
you're getting more Murphys.
Oh.
Right? In a world of fucking jerks and fucking drug addict robots, you want Murphy type individuals to go into the reanimated RoboCop program. So they want good cops to effectively make more RoboCops out of. So
how are we getting caught up with this? This is the opening scroll. This is a montage. You know I love my montage.
This is just the elevator pitch. We'll work out the details later. We're already at third floor. All right, so here we are.
I don't want to buy it if you hit me.
So now, I'll kick it. So here we are. Now we have RoboCop 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8. I'm crazy like that.
Oh shit.
So now what's his name? Murphy can now retire, except he's not allowed to go to Florida. He goes on ice, and we have these other newer RoboCops. So again, they're still visually clearly RoboCops.
They're RoboCop-ish,
but different faces in there.
Got some broads,
different voices. Absolutely. Certain different technologies, but they are clearly human shapes, doing what they got to do. All fucking business. They are RoboCops, make no mistake about it. However, because of that bad history that specifically Detroit has had with machinery run amok, they make a law that says any bit of tech that becomes self-aware, like if your toaster's like, fuck, I'm a toaster, this sucks, my life is terrible, I'm gonna help myself to this steak knife and chase this bitch around the kitchen until
that's a fucking cool toaster.
Charlie,
sounds
toaster
like the children's
is
product.
Very, very advanced in the future. So they make a law that says if technology becomes self-aware, it gets destroyed immediately without any kind of provocation. Technically, the toaster never needs to take up the steak knife. It could just be like, am I a toaster? What is to toast? Then people are like, oh, gotcha, and they fucking.
Ironically, it's shaped like a giant toaster.
Oh, ironically, it's shaped like giant knives. So, that's the rule on the books now. Okay, great. Here's the other thing. As this new crop of RoboCops, plural, maybe even call that RoboCops, like doing Alien.
Oh!
Okay, so here we are. As they
we own that. Fox Pictures owns
fuck you guys.
RoboCops.
As they effectively as they would take damage in the field, right? They run into bad guys. They would buy that for $1 for sure. What happens is they go back to the into the fucking infirmary for robots and cyborgs.
It's just a fucking repair shop
Charlie,
with an Italian guy out the
here's
back.
the thing: as they get repaired, effectively they become what? They become less and less cyborg.
Oh shit!
And they become more and more robots. Now here's the problem: math is a bitch. Not just for John and the SATs. Math is a bitch because it is fucking definitive. It's black and white. So eventually, one of the more go-get-em RoboCop replacements, updates, has gotten injured / damaged to the point where they have to do so many repairs that this motherfucker cannot legally be considered anymore a cyborg.
Oh shit! It's just a fucking robot.
It's in effect now.
Got some meat inside.
It is a robot with some mushy parts, which is not a cyborg. So they say, hey, you know what? Topical also. No one is above the law. So, by the letter of the fucking victim, we have to destroy this son of a bitch. And that's what they do.
Oh no!
They take a sworn in.
Played by Liam Hemsworth.
Played by Miley Cyrus.
Oh fuck!
So, this motherfucker gots to go. So in front of everybody, because it became like a media thing, like, well, are you willing? You made the rules. Are you willing to kill / destroy one of your own?
Oh my god!
So they make a fucking
so
meal.
OCP?
OCP makes a meal out of this shit, and effectively they have what amounts to a public execution.
Shut the fuck up.
Of one of theirs. You know who's in attendance?
Murphy.
No, he's on ice.
Okay.
The other RoboCops. So they're like,
can one of the RoboCops do it?
No, we're gonna let some masher fucking like a mush machine.
Oh, we're
like
doing like a
in the
fucking
Fargo
car.
type of deal.
Oh shit!
Or like a car, even better. So now the other RoboCops are like,
I'm way too enthralled.
they're there, and
Give
you know
me this
what?
movie.
Maybe they do it like, listen, we need crowd control. This might get out of control. You motherfuckers
Oh.
need to be there, and they're like watching the fucking scene because Charlie, you know what makes the best bad guy?
A good guy.
Fucking good guy turn, baby.
Ooh.
Just switching that hat, and for them it's a big deal because they got to unscrew it and the whole 9 yards. So
You got jokes.
10th
10th floor, by the way.
These fucking shit. How tall's the building?
However you need it.
Great, perfect. So these other RoboCops, they saw that shit. They're doing their mandatory charge up, and they fucking get.
Excuse
like
me.
that.
Someone changed their hat, am I right?
Ultimately, these motherfuckers get together like Alexa and Amazon and fucking, you know, all the rest of them are like,
Okay,
wow.
Google's all the dead one.
Okay, Google, that was some bullshit. Searching for, I cannot find bullshit in the local directory.
I fucking hate you, okay, Google!
So, the robots, or the RoboCops, in effect, they directly interface or whatever it is that robots do, and they realize, yo, if they could do that to him, they could do that to all of us. So, actually, what the fuck? And they decide in that self-same Terminator, fucking like Matrix, like everywhere that movies have told us rightfully, look, robots can do it better than we can fucking do. They realize, hey, I love the Matrix. We can do it better than they can do. And they decide, you know who the problem is? Humanity.
Oh!
So effectively, what we have done is we have let these fucking monsters loose now, and they are just Charlie wrecking shop on the streets of Detroit, like you read about, or in your case, like you fucking audiobooked it about. Yeah. So they're
busy
wrecking
executive
shop,
bitch.
and then the cops like, oh no, Detroit, we're so terrible. We rely on the RoboCop so much. How can we possibly stop them?
Bum, 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 bum,
Just a slow
Fuck
motion.
yes.
Slide over. See the steam roll out. See the leg pop out with just a little toesy woesy. Kadoosh, kadoosh, and Murphy gets out. Maybe he's smoking a cigarette because times have been tough. They take Murphy off of ice. They effectively fucking
Thaw him?
Fucking
Demolition Man him?
They demolition
Austin
him.
Powers
Exactly what I was looking for.
Keys for 2 hours?
They bring him back. They're like, look, you're the only one that can do it. And he said, I'm too tired. I'm getting too old for this shit. So they put Murphy.
Wait, he's still aged?
he's still aged. You know why? Because Peter
the fleshy
Weller,
parts, yeah.
Peter Weller has still aged, and we're not gonna fucking spend our budget on de-aging this much face, especially when the lips are the part that looks terrible. Indy, I'm still praying for God. I hope that it's not bad. But that all being said, Peter Weller is back in the game. Obviously, with computers, what we can do, we're gonna make him look fucking dope when RoboCop gets into it, fighting all these other RoboCops. We are indeed gonna give one very specific upgrade to his RoboCop armor. Maybe we'll lace him up with another layer, buff him up a little bit like he's been on the fucking creatine on ice. But we are gonna give him a fucking I like to refer to it as an Optimus Prime, where it just like it shuts up even that little the lunch pocket, and gives them a little extra level of protection. We can literally do what they're afraid to do in the Transformers movies, just like make it, give it a look up and down when he talks, a little aside to the OGs. And look, you set him loose. It's less now a police procedural with RoboCop as it is a fucking hunting movie in the streets. So you've turned RoboCop
like Reverse Predator
into fucking Predator, but the street. So it's kind of like Predator 2 because it's in the streets.
Nice.
It's on the streets of Detroit, and he goes and he fucking does what he has to do. Now, as exciting as you can imagine that to be, and I know you all are, ultimately, he's picking off RoboCop by RoboCop by RoboCop, one after the other. So let's say that there were 7 in total. The one gets destroyed, public execution style, leaving 6. RoboCop goes out and he gets number 6, number 5, and number 4. 1, 2, 3. Picks them off individually. We've established that these RoboCops are no fools.
Yeah.
They were chosen for a reason. So they're doing the math in the head like, yo, OG fucking Murphy RoboCop, he's not to be fucked with. We can't fight him on our own. So they effectively form this little triumvirate, like, yo, if he's gonna have to come after one of us, he's gonna have to fight all of us. So the 3 remaining RoboCops are this little like fucking a clique.
Nice.
Right?
Yes. One time, son.
Too sweet. So they're a little clique of RoboCops, and now even they turn RoboCop back. He's got to roll back in for some fucking reinforcements and stuff like that. So he took some damage. Round 1, like this is now Rocky. He's like takes a little beating,
nice,
at the hands of Apollo.
Classic
I
Rocky.
mean RoboCop and RoboCops. He goes back to OCP and he gets fucking like kind of like fixed up and like a little bit buffed up. Maybe that's where you install his facial guard and whatnot. And here's the shot. He takes a shot of baby food because that's just delicious. I used to steal Charlie's banana food all the time.
Fucking son of a
so
bitch.
So sad when he grew up.
I still have some, Joe.
Yes, I do. So he's like, I got work to do, whatever the fuck he wants to do. And as he's walking out, it's a camera close-up on him. And he's walking, he does, maybe he gets an upgrade now, he's got dual shooters, the whole 9
very
yards.
Video gaming.
Thank you very much. And he's like, he's walking out of the OCP repair facilities, which don't forget,
that's where you go evil.
It's an area where they're maintaining old OCP tech, because that's what he is.
I'm about to come.
So he's like, he turns, he looks over to his right. We never see what he's looking at. His head drops a little bit. Maybe the mouth guard fucking drops. He's like, I have a requisition. Fast forward even more. So now you're going into the ultimate big fucking bad fight where it's RoboCop. It's basically Superman versus the fucking the 3 Kryptonians, except there's more. Full Mandalorian / Boba Fett. You have Murphy RoboCop riding into the ruckus atop an Ed 209.
Fucking sold! I got chills!
Which we have.
Oh, the fucking thing just went off! You didn't hear it!
No!
Fucking, I swear on Dad! I swear on our father, the fucking elevator just went off. Holy fuck, there it is. Oh, the sound of fucking a soul being made.
Do me a favor, make the check out to J.O.N.
Shut the fuck
Rivera.
up. I'm blown away that music you couldn't hear lined up so well with the perfect pitch.
RoboCops in theaters near you.
God damn it, do I love that segment so much. one movie pitched, one movie sold. We will not be buying stories that the other person doesn't want to buy, but
That's
you guys
nice. I
get
like
to
it.
play a part because, like all pitches, failed or successful,
Yes.
you guys get a lot of activity for this.
Look, we have all, as fans of any genre, we are sitting on ideas, and we've sat through multiple installments of something, saying, you know what, they should have done this, they should have done that. Fucking put your money where your mouth is. Drop into our DMs, hit us up on our phones. Here's Charlie's number, 631. Sorry. Hit us up directly. We're happy to either take your pitch and pitch it here, or bring you on the show and you could fucking pitch yourself. We'll both wear ties. We're very fancy motherfuckers. But that is indeed on a Sunday special installment of US Comics Cast. That is time. So Charlie, please tell all the nerds and geeks and comic book freaks how we wrap up each and every episode of US Comics Cast. What do you...
Oh, I will, my beautiful brother, and it's oh so simple. First, you gotta turn the power on. Then you gotta move the way out of my script. Turn the volume up. Dude,
Still not a book.
open up the window wide and scream out into the night sky. Say it must be sky. We are